What's up, guys? Welcome out to another episode according to Kaz Queen. As always, I am Kaz.
And I'm Queen.
And guess what, guys? This is the season finale of season 3. We are 75 episodes in. What started out as a project and an idea that me and my bride got together and said, hey, let's do a podcast. Let's get some equipment and let's do a podcast. What started out at our offices in the Synergy Link, where we created the content room, that morphed into us coming here and being at our dining table in our little area in the front, that morphed into us being right here in the place where we are most comfortable, where we have most of our conversations outside of our boudoir. And we are here, episode 75. We got 75 episodes of me and my wife talking about things that we talk about here at home. And ladies and gentlemen, my wife is still here. She's still on board. I think in season 3, I don't think we had any episodes where you were mad at me before we got started.
You are just full of laughs today.
Hey, but seriously, in seasons 1 and 2, you know, I always challenge you guys to try to guess the episodes in which my wife had just got through cussing me out or had just threatened to walk off the set and not do the podcast at all, or had just been mad at something that I did or other. But I don't think
sound like a horrible person.
I think in season 3, I don't think we had any of those episodes at all whatsoever. I think all of our episodes started off good and ended as well that I can recall. I don't know. Maybe you guys can check. But at any rate, with 75 episodes in, this is the season finale of season 3. We try to give you 25 bangers every season. All right. We try to make sure that we're not doing what TV does these days. We're not trying to give you 8, 10 episodes. That's kind of cheating, I think. You know, we want to go back to the times when you got 25 episodes, you know, like the Flash episodes or shows that I absolutely abhor and hate, like Grey's Anatomy, that has 20-something episodes in every season. Seems like it never ends. But this is much better programming than Grey's Anatomy. Would you not agree? I knew it.
It's cool.
You don't think that the podcast that you do is better than Grey's Anatomy?
It's cool.
I figured that. I knew that would catch you up because you're such a Grey's Anatomy fan, and I knew that you could not bring yourself to say something negative about that terrible, terrible show.
Can you bring yourself to say something positive?
About Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
It's not on currently while we're sitting here, and I haven't seen it in quite a while in this household. So
how would you describe a hater?
How would I describe a hater?
Yeah.
Somebody who dislikes something that's actually good that a lot of people like. That's a hater.
That's
and
you, buddy.
Grey's Anatomy is not good. There are some people who like it, but they like it for ridiculous, superficial reasons. You know, no disrespect to any of you out there.
The language you are speaking right now, sir, currently is hateration.
I don't think so.
You just gave me your own definition of hater, and you fit it to a T. It's good programming. A lot of people like it, and you dislike it. That was your definition of a hater.
A lot of people liking it does not necessarily make it good programming.
Oh, now you want to adjust the definition. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, you know, there's that. But at any rate, we're going to take a little while off in between seasons as we do. We're going to figure out what we can do for season 4 to come back, jazz it up a little bit. You know, we've been comfortable right here. Have you been comfortable being right here?
Not really.
Really?
It's cool.
It's just lukewarm all the way across the board with you, just everything. The podcast is like, it's okay, it's cool. The vibe's
real
cool.
Chill. The vibe is real chill. You know, and we be enjoying ourselves. It's flowing. However, when I'm usually in that type of vibe, I'm not having to sit up straight. I'm not having to, like, you know.
Get your posture together.
Yeah. But, like, on here, I have to be thoughtful about that. I can't, like, I'd rather be just laid all out, you know.
Okay.
But
we'll take that into consideration. If you guys are listening right now, or if you're watching us on YouTube, let us know where you have liked us over the years. Did you like us in the content room? Did you like us at the table originally? Or did you like us here? All right. That's a good question. And we're going to ask this, of course, later on of all our social media followers as well. Which one of the seasons did you like the setup better? Did you like this one? Did you like last year? Or did you like it the first year when we were in the content room? The thing about the content room, while it is, dope, we have to actually go to the content room.
I like the content room.
Yeah, the content room.
Because if I was going to be working, or not necessarily working, but if I was going to be being recorded or having to be in the energy of productivity, I don't mind going to it. It helps me to set my energy right. This is conflicting energy for me because it says you should be comfortable and at home like you always are, but right. I'm also doing this recording, so it's conflicting for me.
So the thing about going to the content room is like, again, we've got to get up and we've got to go there, which means we'd have to kind of have a set schedule, and the schedule would have to kind of be met regardless of what's happening.
It happened the first year.
I mean, it did.
The first season.
Yeah, well, it's, I do recall, there were some days like, I don't feel like going over there. Because we got to get up and get dressed, and we got to go over there. You got to get ready. We got to drive over there. The
but
stuff is already. But you did go. You did go. But, when I said, hey, we've got the equipment and we can do it at home, you were like, hey, that's even better. And even now, like, we can get up and do the podcast when we're in the mood. Yeah. Anytime. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. It can be, 7 o'clock at night. We can do some content at 2 in the afternoon on Saturday if we want to, or on Sunday. And, because we have a lot of things going on, that makes it a lot more flexible for us to do that. I like the flexibility. So there's a lot of pros and cons to it, but you guys let us know visually what y'all liked a little bit better. For those of you that followed us, this season on YouTube, of course, we're on all streaming services. You know that, the drill. It's been 3 seasons in. You can check us out on Black with No Chaser Radio. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. All right. And we're also on YouTube. Brad Kamikaze Franklin. We are inching up towards 1,000 subscribers. We're up at about 980. So we're just 20 away from reaching that mark. And we want to be able to do that as we get ready to approach season number 4. So we're going to work on that in between, man, and get y'all ready. We want to come back on the season premiere of season 4 and say that we reached the 1,000 mark. We're going to work on that. We're going to do that. You're just real mellow today.
I'm like chilling.
It's like whatever's happening. I mean, it's cool. It's going down. So, yeah, end of season 3, a couple of scenarios that I want to talk to you about, because we always kind of take a look at what's going on in pop culture and on social media. 2 scenarios that took place. The first scenario that was going viral, a young lady says that she slept with someone to get a position. She slept with them to get a job, and she was working at this job diligently, going along, and the person that she slept with to get the job, they eventually started dating. They became an item. I don't know if it said if they got married or not, if they had kids or whatever the case is.
They did get married, but he was married when they started.
Okay, so he was married when they started. He left his wife to be with the woman who slept with him to get the job. She got the job, obviously. So, mission accomplished there. But now there's another young lady that has come on board at their place of work. And she says that she does not like how he looks at her. And of course, now it is a problem. And she said something to him about it. And he said that you need to resign from your job if you have a problem with what's going on. And the question is, who's in the wrong, or was she wrong for requesting that, or was he wrong for requesting that she leave the job? So I think I know what I'm going to say, but, after you reading the scenario, I want to get your thoughts on that.
What you think I think? Just for shits and giggles.
For shits and giggles?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I'm asking. I want to say, because I think we've had this conversation before, I want to say, how you get them is how you lose them. That's what I want to say. But I don't know. You might have something else more profound to say.
Not really. What I was thinking was you get back what you give. You get back what you give out.
Just that simple, huh? Yeah. So you think because she said, well, she slept with him for the purposes of getting the job, not necessarily for getting with him. So she could have technically slept with him, got the job, and they could have not been an item because I guess her main objective at first was to get the job. So boom, mission accomplished there. A sidebar to that is now all of a sudden we're in this relationship and we're married now.
Her problem is the disguised guilt from being with him when he was married and breaking up that family. All the rest of it is a response to that.
So she feels basically like this is about to happen to her.
The same thing is happening to her that she did to the wife.
How you get them is how you lose them. At the end of the day. That's a crazy scenario. Second scenario, a gentleman says that he lives with a woman. They are not married, by the way. She makes $70,000. She went on a job interview. She called him back and said, babe, I got the job. I'm going to be making $100,000. The catch on this one is, in this scenario, is that her boss at the new job that pays $100,000 is her ex-boyfriend. And this current boyfriend says that if you really love me, you will quit that job. I don't want you working at the job with this guy. The girlfriend says, you're crazy.
He's crazy.
He is crazy.
He's crazy.
He is crazy. And they're not even married.
Come on,
They
man.
just go together.
Come on, man.
And I don't know if this guy was making this video as a scenario or if he was actually, you know, these days, we talked about this, you never know what's real and what's contrived. But this guy actually made this video and, you know, saying that it was him that was dealing with this and asking people what they thought. And he pretty much got roasted for the most part.
Really?
Yeah.
But he's the one that asked her. Yeah, he should have got roasted.
Yeah, he asked her to leave the job. First of all, the insecurity on this fella is stifling.
Top tier. It's top tier.
Top tier insecurity. Your wife is about to make six figures. Girlfriend. Your girlfriend's about to make six figures. I don't know what you make per se, sir, but she's not married to you, so there's no commitment there outside of you guys being in a, I guess, committed relationship. You know, I kind of feel like, you know, if you're not married, you're single. That's kind of my thing. But if you don't think that this woman can go and work at this job and be in close proximity to her ex-boyfriend, that's her boss, and nothing happened, I don't know. I think you got to grow up. I can see the point, but I think maybe there would be some backstory that I'd have to get to know what was the scope of their relationship and how closely they're going to have to work together. But still, I don't think in any scenario, I don't think there's any woman who would turn down $100,000 just because you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm trying to think in my head what could be so significant. Maybe if he was physically abusive to the girl and he was like, you can't go back in there, it's not safe type of thing.
There's
or
that.
If, you know, something really like tragic or something happened. But otherwise, I can't see how this.
Or if it was super passionate and they were maybe engaged at one time,
or like
maybe
he
they
knows
lived
that she
together.
still got feelings for him.
Yeah,
but
that wasn't in the scenario though.
At any rate, this is more about him than it is about her. So
the shoes on our feet. We're married per se. We've both had previous relationships with people. We both were in relationships when we were broken up with each other. Let's put us in those scenarios. Let's put us in those instances. I come to you and I say, hey, I got a job offer here and they're going to pay me six figures. But my boss is my ex. My boss is my ex.
Baby,
we don't need to go into all of that.
Let
we
me
know
just
what's
say
happening.
that you work with your exes all the time.
I mean, I work with my baby mamas a lot on a lot of different scenarios. Yes,
that's all I consider an ex.
They are exes, indeed, but they are also the mothers of my children.
What he's saying, that makes a difference. How?
I really want to be able to give you an immediate answer.
I ain't got nothing. Can't get the bat off your shoulder.
It's different though. Ex-girlfriend and baby mama, to me,
baby mama
is different.
Family.
Yes, they are in the familial circle. They are in
so
they are in the mother
baby
circle.
Mamas, same story. Exclude baby mamas.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to be honest and transparent with you guys here today.
Uh-oh.
I do have issues from time to time with my own stuff, right? So I probably would not hesitate to say, you do that, go get that, whatever, do the job, support, all that, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
But I am always going to have this, I ain't going to miss nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it's not like I recognize that is my own stuff, which is why I said in the previous conversation that was about him. Well, that it was more about him than it was about the situation.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, I just kind of am stubborn. I'm a Tarian. Shout out to the Tauruses. Y'all know we live and we up in here. But I don't know. I think that might be just any woman who has ever been cheated on or abused in any way, shape, or form. But I wouldn't dare put my stuff off on you making this decision.
Right. It's 100 G's.
Yeah, like
it's 6 figures.
That could change our life.
Could absolutely. And I agree. I think in your instance, again, there's the issue, of the abuse that you dealt with. That for me would be an issue. I think for you, it would be an issue. I still don't know if I'm like, you can't take the 6 figures.
I think you'd have an eye. You just kind of keep your eye open. I think it'd be the same way, maybe for different reasons, but we'd be watchful and cautious, maybe. That's the right word.
Is it wrong under any circumstances to have that eye? If your significant other says they just going to keep an eye on it, does that indicate insecurity? As opposed to someone who's like, oh, baby, go ahead. It's 6 figures. Do your thing. I trust you. And then just leave it alone.
What's the question?
Is it insecure to say that I'm going to keep an eye on it? Like you tell them, you go ahead and take it.
But we just proved that it doesn't have to be. It doesn't automatically indicate insecurity. Sometimes it means being cautious.
What if the person is like, hey, I'm not worried about that. Go ahead. Get that money. Would that raise a red flag for you?
No.
Okay. There are some people who might think that if you so easily say that without it being a problem, that you might be doing your own shit.
Or you are a bag chaser.
I mean, 6 figures is a lot.
Clearly it ain't that much to old boy who told his girlfriend to quit.
Yeah.
So it just depends on our own personal perspective of life.
I'd have to know how much he was making to know how stupid of a statement that was. Because if she's making more than you off top, then,
Some men have an issue with that.
Some men do have an issue with that. And it could have been an underlying issue with her making the $100,000. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of different scenarios that could happen. So I'm not real, I ain't going to go out there and just, get up under the dude without knowing the whole story. But it's got to be a good one. It's got to be a good story. Because otherwise it looks like you are youing. You know what I'm saying? Like This ain't about her. This ain't about growth. This is something about him.
At the end of the day, that is true. Which brings me to my next thing. Love and Life is coming up. as we're closing out season 3, our 12th annual panel discussion. Yes. Our 12th annual panel discussion, single, dating, divorced. It's complicated. All spectrums of love, all spectrums of dating, relationships, and sex, of course. We talk about that. Is taking place and is happening on May the 4th at the Synergy Link. It's going to be during the annual Queen weekend festivities. My beautiful bride is going to be turning 50 years old. Mm-hmm. And she is excited about it. And I am excited that she is excited. It is a milestone indeed. So we're going to talk about love and life and all of the spectrums of relationships and talk about, some of the panelists and, some of the things that they have talked to you about before they're going to come and share these things with us at the panel. But 50 is very significant. We, in our 3 seasons of doing this show, in the midst of this, I've had a milestone myself, but it wasn't on my 50th. I don't think we weren't doing a podcast during my 50th.
Yeah, we were.
Were we?
Mm-hmm.
I know we got 3 seasons, but it wasn't literally 3 seasons. So I don't know. Okay. So there were some milestones for me as well while we were doing this podcast. But, you are turning 50. So reflections on 50, reflections on your life leading up to 50. And why is this significant for you?
So I've been doing a whole lot of thinking about that question. Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about, I've separated them into different thoughts into categories. Like you got family, career, self, growth, spirituality, all that kind of stuff. So I'm working my way through that list. I don't have it all the way together yet. But what I do know is that I realized here recently, don't judge me, but I might get emotional. I realized here recently, I think I talked about the visitation I had from Daddy on here. Yeah. But in that visitation, I realized that I was happy. And I realized that I wouldn't have known that I was happy had I not sat and evaluated the things that I identified early in my life would make me happy. I had to actually sit down and think about it because life will have you experiencing things that we don't pay attention to. So I actually sat down and thought about all the things that I thought would make me happy when I was younger and how I identified those things. And I realized that I have accomplished all of them. I have gotten those things. Now, when I evaluate who I am right now, my list for what makes me feel fulfilled is growing, is bigger. So I feel like acknowledging where I am right now is important to identifying where I'm going and how I'll be brand new at wherever I'm going. And I had to get okay with that because where I've been, I'm seasoned. Mm-hmm. But where I'm going, I'm an embryo. Like I'm starting from scratch. Had to get okay with that because we get real comfortable in being seasoned. But I'm now accepting it and embracing it and looking forward to it, which is why I want to celebrate so heftily because I get that. And I don't know if everybody gets it, if it's something that you just experience at 50. I don't know, but I feel blessed to have the experience, the knowledge, the coverage to be able to recognize that. So yes, I am very elated, very happy.
So we approached 50 differently. I've talked about it, on this podcast. For me, it was one of those, pivotal moments. There were moments of doubt. There were moments of depression. There were moments of anxiety. I had for years not, actually spoken my actual age out in public or in front of people. Just kind of did it in a roundabout fashion, so much so to the point where, even people who were in school with me didn't really know where my age was. They could only really kind of speculate and roundabout, based upon us, being in school together, even family members, even our kids not knowing exactly. I grew up in a household, again, when my father passed. We had to kind of make sure we were all on the same page of what his age was. There was actually a military document and another document that had different dates of birth on them. So I don't know if he had been planning his entire life to be covert with his age. I don't know. He could have been an army spy. Who knows what was going on at that time. But, I became comfortable over time saying my age and saying it out loud and acknowledging it. And, people are like, wow, well, I didn't know that because I would have took you for 40 something and you don't look like your age. And that's a good thing. That's just genes that comes from my dad. But you have approached it in a different fashion. You approached it from a positive standpoint. You approached it from a celebration point. I didn't do all of the celebration for my 50th. It was very low key. I think we went out. I don't think I did anything. I might have had a little slight gathering or something, and I don't even remember. But that for me was, I don't know, it was a weird time. But for you, you're taking it very differently. So was that intentional? Was that something that you had to work through? Did you watch me experience it and then said, I want to go in a different direction in it? Like when it started coming on you, what were the initial feelings and initial thoughts that led you to getting to this point of celebration?
I've always been at this point. I have been. So I was double promoted early in elementary. So all my friends were always older than me. Mm-hmm. So early on, I had this thing about wanting to be older. Right. But that didn't last very long. By the time I got to my teenage years, I was cool with being a younger person, which is kind of weird, actually, for teenagers. But it didn't last long. But the reason why I feel the way I do about circling the sun again is because of my spirituality. I have a very strong connection to the ancestors and thusly the elders. I am very connected to the elders, and they are important, and I cherish them. So because of that, I recognize that I'm getting closer to being one. So it seems like to me an ancestral homage, per se, to recognize that I am getting more wise, more seasoned, more connected. Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. I got chills even saying that. So because of my spirituality, I recognize my age as a gift, not a curse. And I'm thrilled, like seriously thrilled to be able to know as much as I know and be in position to share it, but also be young enough to know that there's more to learn and experience. I'm in the best time of my life right now. I have a wonderful husband. I have a beautiful daughter, a son, a bonus daughter. I have everything. I have a connected family. I have the chosen family that I have is beyond belief amazing. Beyond belief. So I'm good. I do what I love every day. I feel used by God. I don't know if there is anything better to feel in life. I feel like I'm on purpose, in purpose at all times. I don't hold no grudges. If it's people out there that don't like me, I'm spiritual enough to keep the energy away so I don't have to deal with it. Like, it's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful life for me. I'm grateful. Why not celebrate?
Old enough to know better. Young enough to sheesh. Yeah, that's cool. And I'm happy for you. And I'm happy that you are reveling in that and celebrating. A lot of people don't when they get to that age because, they haven't work through a lot of things.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
So, I think that's good. I think that is excellent. We're going to celebrate your 50th, and I'm going to hopefully make it through the weekend. I'll be there.
Baby, let me tell you something. If you don't make it through the weekend, I'm just going to leave you there, and I'll get back to you.
I mean, I'm going to make it through. I just don't know what condition I'm going to make it through in. That's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make it through, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe even Wednesday,
maybe Sunday,
Thursday, Friday, maybe Sunday. I've already prepared to
Sunday could happen.
Not have anything going on a Sunday, just depending. I think, it's going to be a challenge to pace myself across the weekend, because I know you going balls to the wall. I know that's where you going.
I'll be gone, baby. I'll be gone. I listen. If you don't like it, don't come around me. I'm not going to be held by anybody else's standards. I'm just going to do what I want to do, how I want to do it, when I want to do it. Y'all don't go crazy with that statement. Y'all know what I mean. But I'm just going to, if I want to kick it, I'm going to kick it. If I don't want to kick it, I'm going to rest. Whatever it is, it's happening.
Bertha's coming out.
Bertha has been waiting. She has been waiting.
Bertha's coming out, ladies and gentlemen. And, I know she's coming. So
you should be prepared.
I'm a little bit better prepared than I am usually when she comes out just on a normal, regular Franklin night out on the town. But I know she's coming out. And, we're just going to have to put those parameters in place to see if we...
Here we go.
To see if we can
Y'all see what he doing, don't you?
See if we can keep her under wraps. I mean, Bertha comes out and, somebody might be going to jail. Like, we have to stop it. we gotta stop that from getting out of hand.
Baby, those days
we gotta reel that back in.
Bertha not gonna go in that direction. She gonna go in the other direction.
This is your 50th. You already said there's no reins on it, so you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't have any control of Bertha when Bertha comes out. You don't have any control of Bertha.
It ain't gonna be no jail. Ain't nobody gonna get hurt. Everybody gonna be good.
I know that. Bruce Banner said that a whole lot of times when he showed up with the Avengers. Nobody was going to get hurt.
You just said, I know that.
Huh?
You just said, I know that. And in the same breath, you explained why.
Well, you're saying that, and I know that you mean it. You absolutely mean it.
Mean what?
That nothing's going to happen. Everything's going to be cool. Yeah, you absolutely mean
it. I'm serious.
Yeah. I know. You mean it. You absolutely, you're extremely sincere about that. You actually mean that, but you don't have any control of that.
I think you're wrong.
Well, we'll see. We will see, ladies and gentlemen.
And if she doesn't want to be controlled, just let her be.
See, there we go. I knew it. I knew there was going to be a caveat.
Just to put that out there. Just let her be. Just make sure she's safe and ain't harming nothing to nobody or herself, and just let her be.
All right. So, Love and Life is coming up. Our candid adult relationship discussion, real talk from real people. What are you looking forward to the most? And why do you think these conversations are always really good conversations that, if you're watching and you're in Jackson, Mississippi, by the way, you need to come and check it out.
I think the conversations are good because I don't think on a regular that men and women have hard talks.
Yes.
And so this is a avenue for conversations that are not usually had to be had in a community type of environment. So you're having a conversation, but it's not just to your partner. Mm-hmm. So you can get input from people who've been through it, who might be able to give you some ideas about handling your situation. Or it might be people in the audience who are in the situation you're in and don't know what to do. And together we can have communication and maybe help find an answer to that. So ultimately, that's what it's about. What I'm looking most forward to is I have a couple of surprise panelists that I think people are going to be really enthused, and I think they are going to find them interesting, and I think that they will find them entertaining.
Yeah.
We always like a good laugh. So Love and Life is serious, but it's also fun. So if you can imagine what that looks like. We have really good conversation, but it's very respectful, even though there is opposition all the time. It's very respectful. So I look forward to having those thoughts just put out into the atmosphere so we can get closer and closer to understanding each other.
These are candid conversations, and people come in, and thankfully, one of the prerequisites when I or my bride are reaching out to them is that, you're going to have to be candid and you're going to have to be transparent. You got to be honest. One of the reasons why I think communication is so difficult between men and women is that men and women at their core sometimes are not honest with each other, whether because they're just meant to do that or because they're trying to protect. A lot of times it's done to protect the feelings of the other person and to prevent an argument and a confrontation. And, all of us are guilty of doing that. But you don't really get to the core and the crux of things unless you have candid conversations. So we've had people who, were going through divorces, have been divorced. We've had people that, have different sexual orientations, whether they be gay, pansexual, whatever the case is, asexual, whatever that might be. We've had newlyweds, we've had older couples before, we've had people that have been on the panel before with a significant other, and then they come back later and they're single, and some that were single and they come back later and they are in a couple. Some people that have been in a throuple, all kinds of different things, all kinds of spectrums. And it's a really cool conversation that is free to the public for you to come and partake. May the 4th at the Synergy Link building. Come and check it out. This is the 12th installment. One of the things about us, I think that is cool, when we've gotten these ideas and created them, we've been consistent with them. I didn't realize that this was the 12th year of us doing this. We started doing this when we had been married for a couple of years. And this is like the 12th year. Jackson and the Music Week is going into its 10th year. Juneteenth on Ferris is going into its 8th year. And you did Taps. Taps made it to 10 years. Like, we're going to stick with it when we do it. And we're going to be consistent with it, and we're going to build it over time. And it might be a slow build and it might be a slow burn, but, we're going to build it over time. But Love and Life is the forerunner. It's the oldest thing that we have actually done between either of us. It's older than everything that we've got. It's 12 years old. So it's good, and that's really dope that that's happening. And we really appreciate you guys for being with us as we're being consistent for our 3rd year. I got to say at the beginning of this, I didn't know what was going to happen. Didn't know what was going to happen. Didn't know how it was going to go. Dealing with my bride, ladies and gentlemen, I love her immensely. She's my best friend in the whole world. And because I know her, I know that sometimes, she's like dealing with a movie star. It's like dealing with a diva. It's like dealing with somebody who gets mad and says, I'm going to my trailer, and they don't come back out until
Why
the next
do you
day.
keep talking about this?
Huh?
This is the second time in this particular episode that you done brought that up.
Are you getting perturbed?
No, but if it's something you need to get at you, just get it on out and let's be done with it.
No, I want to say that what I want to get out of me is that this has been amazing doing this, and we're going to keep it going, and we got to figure out how to take it to another level. So, while we're on this break, guys, any ideas, concepts, and questions that y'all got, bring it to us. I'm going to figure out how to give y'all a different look. It's been challenging because this was really it right here. Why
are you even asking the question?
The next place that we could go is figure out how to set it up in the bed for us to be actually in the bed and do the
I
podcast.
don't know about that, child.
Nah. So we're gonna leave that barrier there, and we're gonna not cross that line. But we're gonna figure out how to take this to another level. You know what I'm saying, for you guys. Add some other elements. You know, we talked about talking about wrestling and doing a few little wrestling shorts and things of that nature. So all those things we got on tack. You know, Queen has, you know, some little things that she wants to talk about, that she wants to do, that we need to try to get out there. It's a lot of different stuff. A lot of little small little things that we can try to do to keep bringing y'all this content, man, and keep doing what it is that we're doing. But we appreciate y'all for sticking with us for this being season 3, episode 75. The next time we come back to you, we are going into season 4, and that jaunt is going to go all the way till we get to episode 100. So we got to figure out what we're going to do for episode 100 when we get there.
Is my microphone supposed to be laying on my chest?
No, it's not. That's pretty graphic. The people are looking at the microphone in between your titties like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We are done with this episode, and it's been like that the whole time.
Oh, you couldn't even tell, could you?
Until I looked over there at yours, and I was like...
Well, you know, we had the microphones differently every episode anyway. I don't know what you be doing.
This
Your shit
is
just
not
be
tight.
going up and down.
That's what it is.
That is the problem. It's not tight.
Bam.
That's what happened. That is it. Oh, well, we're at the end of the episode, so that doesn't matter. At this point, it's coming down. All right, but at any rate, man, shouts out to all of y'all, man. Season 3 is now officially on a wrap. When we come back at you, we'll be coming back with season 4, and we're going to see what we got in store. We appreciate y'all. This is Kaz.
And I'm Queen.
I'm Kaz.
And I'm Queen.
Did the diss throw you off? Is that what it was? Did I have to say it exactly like that? I said Kaz.
Yes, that's the brand.
I said.
Say it right.
I said, this is Kaz. You was like, I am Queen. And this is According to Kaz and Queen. And we're going to holler at you guys on the other side in season 4. We'll holler at you then. All right, peace and power.
Peace.